Welcome to the Legacy of Nerd. My name is Daniel, and today we're going to review episode 2 of Gozyuger. We watched episode 1, had a lot of fun watching it. It is the first modern Super Sentai that I have watched. I've watched Ranger, I watched Dai Ranger, Kaku Ranger, but I've not seen anything like in the last within 10 years that they have made. So I've seen a little bit of Gokaiger, and honestly, that is it. I have not seen anything modern. So we watched episode 1. I had a lot of fun watching it. There was a little things like I didn't really like the boxing ring thing, but other than that, I enjoyed all of it really, except for that one little thing. So I'm really excited about episode 2 to talk about it. And so we're gonna go do a quick rundown, and I'll give you my thoughts on what I thought about it at the end. So let's talk about it. So episode 2 starts off with we are fighting at the end of episode 1 with Gozyuger Red, Goju Wolf, and the King Oger Red, who, by the way, is apparently the same actor from the BoonBoomger Red, but he is just in his King Oger form. So we have this fight, and I was really looking forward to this fight because I was like, oh my god, we're going to set it up. The other 4 Gozyugers showed up, and they were kind of watching, and we see this, and we see them fighting. So we see right off the bat that King Oger Red is like, you have a ring. I mean, he's trying to take it away from him. And he sees the other ones and he's thinking like, oh my God, since they have rings, they're going to be my rivals as well. And he's mad at he's mad at the Goju Wolf because he doesn't really have any dreams or wishes. And he thinks he's not worthy of the ring. But then Blue pulls out his blaster, shoots, just shoots him right there. It deflects it. It goes over to Goju Wolf. It kind of like absorbs it. But that is pretty much it. We see them kind of like reacting to the situation. They show off the rings, and we get like kind of the tease like they're going to be the episode's main focus is Yellow and Blue. And then he just picks up his guitar and he just freaking leaves like nothing ever happened. And that is it. That is the entire fight that we were going to get for Gozyuger, for the Red King Oger versus Goju Wolf, and I was completely disappointed from that. Like, that was going to be like, I thought that was going to be the whole episode. I was excited about it, but that was it. But yeah, and then we get our first look, and I don't think we got a look of the intro in the first episode, but we get it. It kind of is a lot of dancing. It's goofing. We see them kind of make a lot of moves. We even see the mecha kind of dance a little bit. They have their cutouts and they all kind of turn into their cutouts. It's a cute little intro. Again, this is supposed to be guided towards kids. It's supposed to be focused for them to buy toys. So yeah, I completely understand. I got some cool visuals of things that are coming up, but yeah, we see them just dancing. I think the funny part here is some of the mecha dancing. I see if I can scrub towards it. There we go. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of O Ranger, some of those scenes where they're dancing. But yeah, so we get back, and I was really like thrown off because we just get over here and we're back at home. She's asking about rent. I said last time that this was his mom and I guess little brother. I was wrong. It's his landlady and her son. So, she's on him, got to pay rent. He's got to find a job. We get back over there. And our guy over here, I think he's like Candlefire. I can't remember exactly, but he's saying like, when is my mecha going to be ready? And she's like, it's not ready. And so they have their minion with the ring fire candle squadron gold bell. He's going to take his mecha and he's going to send a villain and they're going to finish the job. And so their new villain, he is all about treasure hunting. He sees landlady here and he just freaking kidnaps her, just takes her, traps her, and then he goes on a rampage himself. We get a better look of the villain here, and he's not bad. I think it looks pretty good. A lot of kind of really busy. Obviously, it's really treasure themed. He's going to be the #1 treasure hunter, but otherwise, I think it looks pretty good. So we get over here a little bit, and we get our introduction of our Yellow. He comes in just holding a piano. And then he just starts singing what sounds like a church song because he's like, Lord, take a sword. Just I grew up in Catholic church, so it was very reminiscent of a lot of the songs that we probably sung in church. And he sings that for a second, but then we get our next introduction, which is the Blue Leon, our pop star. And he's supposed to be kind of like, full of himself. And you see that, and he does this little when he jumps off the cloud. He goes, like that. He's just watching, like I thought just it was the dumbest thing that I've seen in quite a while. It's just like, like, oh my god, it took me out. It took me out for a second. But they go over there. They're about to fight all the henchmen. They do their power up, which, by the way, this I love this. I love the little dance. I think it's cute. But this whole like circle turn, I absolutely think it's great. It looks really good. I love the little like the marks on their face. I can do this. This is really cool. So they start fighting. They interact with the villain, and basically he's saying he wants to be the number one treasure hunter, and whoever wins their treasure hunts, whoever can get the most treasure will win and be the number one treasure hunter. And obviously Gojo Wolf is like number one, and so he does that. They're all doing that, and we kind of completely forget that he kidnapped his landlady. I'm sure he doesn't forget, but I think the audience definitely forgets. So we see over there, Red is taking his Tegasword, and he just like starts wrecking this park. Everyone's camping, having picnics, and he's like, nah, he's looking for his treasure. He's been kind of weird about it. We see like the holes in the socks. Very, he's poor. He doesn't have much money. He has what he has. So Yellow comes in, and he's like upset that he's using the Tegasword as an excavator. And he's holding his own against his mecha. Look how strong he is. He starts throwing boulders at the Tegasword, and he's just like completely utterly offended that he is using this for this reason. This is holy to him. He is a holy man. The Tegasword is like his god. And he is just, he's not having it. It is funny. So basically, he runs off. But when he notices in a hole, he sees something here. And yep, we can probably guess what that is, but it looks like his mecha. Blue is trying to figure out how to get some treasure. He sees him stealing treasure from people, so he figures he would probably do the same. So we have our Blue going over here, and dude, he's scamming these people. He is scamming them. He is telling them he is in deep need, that he's their, they're his number one fans, and he's totally taking advantage of them. This like completely threw me back, because I was just like, this is not something that we would see from our heroes. But yes, so they basically offer him a free vase. They say it's very valuable. He gets happy, and he takes it for his treasure. And they're all happy because they helped their number one star. He goes back. He confronts a bully that his landlady's son was dealing with, deals with it, and realizes, he's going to deal with it a different way rather than, everyone else is dealing with it. So they go and do their scales to see who won. Initially, the villain wins. Red comes in, steals everyone's treasure. He wins, I guess. And then we just start the fight. That whole thing was kind of like, I don't know. It was just, I don't see a point in it, because we just bypassed all of it. And the landlady's still being kidnapped. Like she's still being held hostage. So now time to get ready to the fight. But we have this boxing thing again. I'm not digging it. I really am just, I'm not feeling it whatsoever. If they just took all of that out, I think I'd be okay. But not even just using the background, like they're just walking, talking towards each other. I get it. They're number one. They have to be number one. And so, yeah, I guess that's a thing. But the fight here, anything fight-wise is just amazing. I have to say I enjoy all of it. As far as anything that when they're transformed, it is something that I'm not used to, because in Power Rangers, they stop at Dino Fury, and I feel like probably after that they took a big step forward with their action, and so I'm just not used to that. But yeah, we see here that he pulls out his blaster out of his chest, so we finally got some confirmation that the chest is going to be their power-ups, how they're going to change, bring out their weapons. So it was really cool to see that. We only see Blues in this episode, but Blue is the best looking of this. I talked about this in the toy reveals. He is probably that look is probably my favorite. I don't know if the character is my favorite, but the look of Blue Leon is definitely my favorite. Yellow calls his Tegasword, and we see it here. He is all happy because he has his Tyranno. So one thing I notice here is that we don't have his blaster yet, but his blaster kind of comes out here. in this form, well, the head comes out here, but we see the blaster come out and become the armor of the Tegosaur, which we knew was going to happen with the toy reveals that we got. But I kind of thought it was interesting. So I thought the blasters might turn into their armor, that turn into the Tegosaur's mecha. And it seems they're going to be two separate things. They're just going to be reminiscent of each other. But the Tyranno Tegosaur looks really good. I have to say I enjoy it. Now, one thing I did notice was like the arms here, the inside of the arms, they have like the texture of the head and everything like that, but they look like they're like on opposite sides. So the inside of the Tyranno arms or the outside of the Tyranno arms sort of look like cardboard right there. I can kind of do it. I'm not digging that, honestly. Like, I kind of wish the whole thing was that, but I get it. It splits in half. There has to be something going on in the middle. It looks like cardboard. It really, really does. And I think it just doesn't have the same thing that's all going on with the rest of the mecha. But other than that, I don't have any big quips on it, like, or big things to complain about it, other than that one reason. Now we see the blue fight here. The blue fight was really good. So we see a big thing that we saw a little teaser of it before, but right here, he's going to use a ring that he has, and he's going to transform into the red BoonBoomger. And I gotta say, I'm digging it because the look of it just looks really, really good. He got the chest armor that's gonna stay with him, and I just think it looks really good. I didn't know what we're to expect as far as what the changes were going to be for the anniversary season. In Gokaiger, obviously, we got all the suits, all the colors, but it looks like in Gozyuger, we're going to have just reds. You know what? That's okay because I feel this. I think this is gonna be cool. So I think it's gonna be really cool to see like the green on red, the black on red, and then the yellow on red. I'm really curious how those different versions are going to seem, but I think it's also a way of like maybe budget constraints because we're not going to have, to bring in every single suit, all those changes, all those different side actors. But you never know, we may have it in the future. Again, the fighting here is just really good. It's something I'm not used to with Power Rangers because this is just a step above of what we were getting prior to the adaptations of Dino Fury. So it just, I have to say, it's just really good. So we see the rest of the fight here. Obviously, they're gonna beat the bad guys here. Just really good animation, and then the mecha fight is just really good as well. And which is I'm not used to. There's a lot more flipping, a lot more acrobatics that they're using. I know a lot of it's CGI as well, but I think it comes off, and some of it isn't. Look at that. Like we're doing this, we're jumping around, we're making moves, and those are clearly suits mechas that are actors in the suits as well. So we get our big power. One of the thing is like now the finale, and so we get that as well. Overall, this episode I think was really good. The action was really good. We get them obviously beating. He's going to go in and he's going to save his landlady. One thing I thought that was cool is that he like basically like digs his blade in there and his blade like pulls apart. And I didn't even think about that because obviously we've seen the transformations with the Tegosaur into the mecha with the toys, but I didn't even think that is something that they would utilize in as far as the weapon. But I actually thought that was pretty cool. It's different aspect of it. Pulls his landlady out, saves his landlady, and saves the day. He's the winner. We obviously, our bad guys are really upset. One thing I thought was really funny is that they had a picture, him and the gold guy, they have a picture of each other, and he's just really upset. I don't know if it was signaling something there, but yeah, they are not happy. But I am digging everything about this character. I love this. I think it's Fire Candle. I can't remember his name, but I absolutely love everything about that guy. And then she's just, man, she just kind of like, yeah, that's a look. So yeah, that's all I can say. So yeah, we got to the end here, and oh yeah, we got this guy. It looks like a bad version of a transformer, but that looks like going to be their god. That they are the big overall god that they're serving, that is evil, that is trying to take all the power from the Tegosaur. So he goes back. His lady is all happy because she got saved. The whole house is now, uh a shrine to the Gozyugers, and she's obviously infatuated with them. We see Blue and Yellow are there as well, hanging out. Blue mentions actually that he returned the vase that he scammed from the elderly couple, except he signs it because that's who he is. But that's pretty much the end of the episode until we get this last scene. We get the BoonBoomger and the King Oger. He is very ominously looking at them, saying, when the time comes, we're going to fight again. And then we see the walk off. So we're obviously going to see his return as well. So my overall thoughts of the episode were, the first episode I think started off really, really good. The second episode, I wanted more from that fight with King Oger, and it just was done in like 10 seconds. And I think just skipping over, like the other four were there, and that kind of like, what happened with that? Like, did he meet them? And I feel like we lost a whole episode in between, even though this is episode 2, and that was weird for me. We get to this villain guy who is, obviously, trying to be the number one treasure hunter, but like I think we get away from the stakes, which the stakes are he kidnapped the landlady, and we're all just kind of playing a game. But again, this is a children's show. I get it, but like I feel like that part started itself really well, and then we went off into like this weird kind of game of it. The Blue scamming these older people for their vase was I could not believe that. I was just like, oh my God, that is not something I would have expected. But I think it made the character more interesting rather than kind of the annoying pop star that we were kind of getting when he was introduced. I'm really curious what we're going to see from the rest of the season. We see next episode, we see Don Brothers is going to be here. We had a little bit of we're gonna get like Green is going to show up as well. So I'm gonna see what's gonna happen from that. This episode was okay for me. I think the first episode was awesome. The third episode is what I'm going to be looking forward to as far as building the rest of the team. But it looks like we're going to get Green is going to be the focus of that one, and probably the black lady, the black first female Black Ranger will be the focus of the fourth episode. But overall, the episode was okay. I enjoyed. There was again everything that was transformation with the Gozyuger, all the stuff that was the fights with in the suits, all the mecha fights. Totally loved it. Absolutely loved all that stuff. I guess it's just kind of the stuff in between, which was I wasn't really getting to this episode. But yes, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Did you guys enjoy this episode? Did you guys enjoy episode 1 if you had seen it yet? What do you think about the series so far? What are you hoping to see? Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I'll see y'all next time.